Hey friends, in this video we're going to be dividing a decimal by a decimal using partial quotients. The very first thing I'm going to do is label my equation so I know what the equation is asking me to do. So in my equation, 16 and 8/10 divided by 3/10, I know that 16 and 8/10 is my total. Because whenever I have a division problem, I always start with a total that I'm going to divide, that I'm going to separate, I'm going to cut, I'm going to split. In this case, I'm separating it into 3/10. That means that I'm separating it into groups of 3/10. Every group that I make is going to have 3/10 in it. So my answer is going to be the amount of groups. I'm searching for groups. So I know that I'm going to get a whole number as my answer because I'm going to count up the whole groups that I've created when taking my total and putting it into groups of 3/10. Now let's solve it using our steps. The very first thing that we're going to do is set the problem up like a normal standard algorithm problem with a divisor and a dividend. The next thing that it tells us to do is hop out the decimal in the divisor. We can't have any decimals here in our divisor, so we need to hop that decimal out. Now, because we hopped that decimal out, we need to do the same thing to our dividend. Step 3 tells us to take the same number of hops in the dividend. I took one hop here, so I'm going to also take one hop here. So now I have the problem 168 divided by 3. Step 4 tells me to solve like normal. So I'm going to say, can 3 go into 1? Nope, but 3 can go into 16 5 times, which is a 15. But go ahead and add that 0 because we're really looking at a 50 and not a 5. Subtract it out. And we have 18 left over. We know that 3 can go into 18 6 times, which gives us 18, and we have a lovely 0. So we're going to add it up just like we do in a normal standard or partial quotients division problem, and we get 56. Now, the last thing that it tells us to do is make sure that our decimal hops are balanced. Make sure that our decimal hops are balanced. Here's what that means. I took one hop on the outside of my division symbol, and I took one hop on the inside. My hops are balanced, 1 and 1. So what that means is I don't take any hops in my answer. My answer is good the way it is. And we already knew that because we knew we were looking for groups, and groups are a whole number. So 16 and 8/10 divided by 3/10 is 56. In other words, when I take my total and divide it into groups of 3/10, I can make 56 groups. We do want to check this with multiplication. So we're going to take 56 and we're going to multiply it by 3/10. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. I took one hop out, so I take one hop in. And then I do want to check that with my dividend, and I see that it is the same. So 56 groups is my answer. So there you have it, how to divide a decimal by a decimal using partial quotients. The key is to make sure that those hops are balanced. Thanks for watching.